Good morning, good afternoon, good evening around the world. My name is Doug Brunke. I am the founder and CEO of Global Chamber. We are very pleased and honored, we at Global Chamber, to be a collaborator of the National Chamber of Exporters of Sri Lanka. I'm wondering, Rukmi, thank you for joining today. Could you please introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what your organization does in Sri Lanka?
Hi, I'm Rupika. I'm AGA Global Operations.
Wonderful.
Hi, can you hear me? Can you
Yes.
hear me?
Hi,
Hi,
Rukmi.
I'm Rupika. I'm AGL Global Operations, AGM Global Operations at Maxens Holdings.
And are you with the Sri Lankan Export Chamber
Yes,
of Commerce?
we are with the Sri Lanka Exports. We are into manufacturing of tiles and paints. We're the largest manufacturer of tiles and paints in Sri Lanka, and we have 14 verticals under our group.
I see. Very
We've
good.
been with
Well,
the chamber for the last about 20 years, yes.
thank you for
So we are into
introducing.
paints and tiles, yes.
Thank you for your introducing yourself. Really
Thank
appreciate
you. Yes, we appreciate joining too.
Rukmi.
Doug and all the others. Good evening to Sri Lanka. I'm Kaushal Rajapaksa. I'm the president of National Chamber of Exporters.
Fantastic. Welcome and congratulations. Could you tell us a little bit more about what your organization does?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, National Chamber of Exporters is the apex export body in Sri Lanka, working with a membership of 500 members directly and another about 200 members indirectly, helping the exporters to make connection with the overseas countries, do networking and solving their issues. All in all, helping the exporters to grow their exports, right? And it's a pleasure to be with you all today because we as a country, our majority of the exports are to US, largest single export market, accounting to 25% of our total exports. So the partnership that we are going to build will build on quality, trust, and innovation. And I strongly believe there is even greater potential ahead. So today I want to highlight some of Sri Lankan's key export sectors, our competitive advantages, and the exciting opportunities for future collaborations. Is it okay if I go on a little bit more elaborate?
Yes, please. We would be very
Okay.
pleased to hear more.
Yeah, okay. So the key export sectors we have is the apparel and textiles. These are biggest export market, over 40% of our total shipments. The US is a key buyer for Sri Lankan sustainable, ethically produced garments, supplying some of the world's top brands. What set us apart is our strengths is eco-friendly production, globally compliance, and innovative designs. Rubber and rubber-based products. Sri Lanka, a global leader in natural rubber, exporting industrial tires, gloves, automotive components, and footwear to the US. Our reputation for durability and quality ensures that strong demand. Tea and food products. The US is a major market for Ceylon tea, which is loved worldwide for its rich flavor, and health benefits. But that's all. That is not all. We also export organic coconut-based products, spices, seafood, and processed food to meet the growing demand for healthy and premium products. IT and BPO services. The US is one of the biggest clients for Sri Lanka IT and business outsourcing industry with expertise in software development, cybersecurity, AI solutions, and fine tech services. With a strong talent pool and competitive cost, Sri Lanka fast becoming a preferred IT outsourcing destination. Gems and jewelry. Sri Lanka is home for the world famous blue sapphires, along with rubies and other precious stones. Our expertise in cutting and polishing gives us a strong advantage in the luxury jewelry market in the US. Boat building and marine sector. Sri Lanka is gaining recognition for its high quality boats and yachts. This is an emerging sector with the great potential in the US, where I am also in my company is also involved in the boat and yacht manufacturing. Electrical and electronic products, our export in circuit boards, electrical wiring, and components are growing as Sri Lankan manufacturers improve their capabilities. So why choose Sri Lanka now? Why should US buyers and investors look in Sri Lanka? So this part of the things that information I would present to you once we get to know all those who are online. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. We really appreciate that. When you kind of look at the current markets for trade in Sri Lanka, what is the trend? Are you seeing an increase? And which countries, you mentioned the US, other than the US, what are some of the key countries for Sri Lanka for trade?
Especially Europe. Yeah. And also in the Asia, East Asia, and Scandinavian countries.
Thank you.
Hi, Dov. Sorry, this is Shiham. I just logged in. How are you? Nice to see you again.
Hello, Shiham. Good to see you.
You look younger since I saw you the last time.
You're very kind. You do too. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to thank you very much for organizing this webinar now. Actually, we have been really waiting for this. USA is our biggest market, and I think Kaushal already started off by giving an introduction. And we depend a lot on USA, and we are very concerned about tomorrow. The 2nd of April is the bells are ringing here. We are waiting to see how things will turn around with the reciprocal taxes. And we have a team that was put in place, and I think they are already in discussion with some of the officials in the US. We are hoping that we will not be affected negatively because USA is our #1 market, especially with our apparel sector. And also other products and services are exported to USA. But Sri Lanka enjoys a trade balance with the US. So there are some concerns, but we are putting together some proposals. As a chamber, we are also involved in these discussions. And hopefully we are hoping for the best.
Yeah, sorry for the trouble that's being created. Not everyone necessarily agrees with everything going on in the world right now, but I think we certainly recognize that with doing trade, we must be flexible and resilient.
Yes.
And in the end, friends and relationships matter, and hopefully that will carry us through what seems to be a little bit of a challenge for everyone on all sides. So thank you for your patience and your.
Just also to quickly add something now. Now, we Sri Lankan exporters, when we talk about exporting to the US or even to the European region, there are a lot of standards and certificates that were required by the buyers there, where it was very expensive for the Sri Lankan exporter. But through any means, we have obtained these standards and certificates, and we are exporting to USA. The buyers are very happy, especially the apparel sector. Some of the leading brands there are sourcing from USA. And we also, as a chamber, we get a lot of emails from buyers, business people in the US asking us to recommend or connect, with ethical trading companies who have very good standards and certificates to supply, because US is becoming a very consumer conscious market. So they are very particular about traceability, things like that. So we hope that this kind of, this relationship could continue despite political changes happening in the top levels.
We certainly hope so. For everyone's information, or maybe a reiteration of what Global Chamber stands for, we are based in the US. We're based at our headquarters inside Thunderbird School of Global Management in Phoenix, Arizona. Many of us are distributed around the world in 525 chapters around the world. We believe in trade. We believe it's good, not just for prosperity of individuals and for companies and for countries, but also it creates connections that bring the world together. And right now we need more and more of that. Today's conversation is a conversation between the Global Chamber and our partners here, the Exporters Chamber in Sri Lanka. And we have a number of different speakers. And
Yes.
so, Shiham, I think you know all of these gentlemen. Will be hearing more about the Ceylon tea, apparel and
Yes.
textiles, the rubber and rubber products, which actually was a lot of my background
Yes.
earlier in my career. Coconut and coconut-based products, and then also ICT and BPO. So thank you for
Yes.
the opportunity to learn more
Thank
about
you.
all these segments.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you. Yes, we have lined up some of the leading industry experts here. It's over to you. You can go ahead with the program.
Wonderful. That's fantastic. So the way we have structured this is that we've got about 5 minutes per speaker. Please feel free, those of you in the audience, to use the chat area, both to introduce yourself, but also to ask questions. We'll monitor the questions, and then we may have some time at the end of the program or during the program, if it's appropriate, to answer questions. And then we'll be closing up the program at the end of the hour. So we will not go past the hour period of time. So there will be hopefully time for Q&A. So I'm wondering if Mr. Jayantha Karunatne, who's the managing director of Imperial Teas, would like to kick us off for the first conversation about the very famous Ceylon tea from Sri Lanka.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Jayantha Kanratna, Managing Director of Imperial Teas. I'm supposed to speak about the tea industry and our exports into USA, and also what the connections we have with USA, the tea trade, and also what the USA investors can do in Sri Lanka. So basically, USA is the second biggest tea market in the world. So they import, in volume wise, they are the second biggest tea importer in the world. So, and from Sri Lanka, USA purchase about nearly $50 million annually. Their total imports globally is about over $400 million. It's about $500 million. From Sri Lanka is about 10% of it. And for Sri Lanka tea trade, that's the 10th biggest market. So we depend a lot from the US market. So, you know what Sri Lanka is famous is for the quality of tea. So, you know, we produce the best teas in the world. And also the consumers look for more health products for health benefits, wellness, and various other benefits. And also Sri Lanka is famous for specialty teas, which is not produced in other parts of the world or other countries. So it's a competitive advantage we have, because certain teas we have in Sri Lanka is produced only here, and it is sold in USA and in USA in premium prices, and also it's sought after by many people. And also Sri Lanka is a well-organized trade. We are over 150 years in tea in Sri Lanka. So it's a very organized, and the manufacturing systems, practices, and also ethically sourcing tea. So we have a lot of advantages comparatively compared to some of the other countries, because we are considered ethically produced tea. And also the innovations. We do a lot of innovations in terms of quality of tea, packaging, types of tea in Sri Lanka. But due to the distance between Sri Lanka and USA, certain types of tea, like RTDs, we cannot, we are not competitive from Sri Lanka to USA because of transport costs, etc. But we do ready to drink tea from Sri Lanka. Many innovative products, functional teas we do, and also innovative packing. So it's growing market for Sri Lanka. And also if there are investors looking for opportunities in Sri Lanka, definitely there is room. There are some European companies have started manufacturing things like instant tea in Sri Lanka. They do produce in Sri Lanka and exporting to Europe and also to Japan. So there are various other products companies looking for because of the quality and also the systems and also skilled labor and also skilled people here who can handle it. So I think definitely there is room for us to improve in USA. So we look forward for more opportunities in the United States. Thank you.
Thank you very much. One quick question. To be able to do that, who do you want to meet? How can you imagine growing in the US? And then where are there other markets that are interesting for you? Which other countries are most interesting to you right now besides the US?
For Sri Lanka, the biggest markets are Middle East. They buy a lot of Ceylon tea. The Middle East, when I say Middle East, most of the Middle East countries. And USA, even now, southern, certain parts of USA, especially the certain communities in USA, like ethnic groups, they look for Ceylon tea. And also places like China, Australia, the Russia, CIS. Generally, teas are sold in most of the countries, but the other countries we are looking for is Middle East, the China, Australia, and maybe South America. Countries like Chile is growing very fast for Ceylon tea. And it is growing very rapidly for Ceylon tea. They continue to buy more tea and also the better products, the more innovative products from us.
Congratulations on the success, and thank you for sharing more today about the market. If anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat area. I don't see any right now, but we'll circle back, and if there are any questions, we'll answer them at the end of the program. I believe the next speaker is Mr. Sami Bandara, who's the Director of Textile Lanka. He'll be talking about apparel and textiles, a very important market segments for Sri Lanka. Mr. Bandara, are you there, and are you available to speak, please?
Hi. First of all, thank you for the opportunity. So thank you to the Global Chamber for this opportunity so that as a country we can say what we can manufacture or what we produce. to let everyone know about our capabilities. Briefly, I want to mention about the apparel industry. If you look at the merchandise exports out of Sri Lanka, 45% of the merchandise exports are in the apparel and textile sector. If you look at the clothing exports to the US, it varies between 1.5 billion to 2 billion US dollars a year. Sri Lanka's apparel sector is actually the backbone of our economy. As I mentioned, the numbers, it contributes significantly to our exports. Sri Lanka is known for its ethical manufacturing, sustainability, and innovation. We've got a strong reputation for high quality. If you look at most of the global brands, they are manufactured in Sri Lanka. Traditionally, we used to manufacture children's wear, ladies' wear, and men's wear. But over the years, some of the companies have specialized in fast fashion, and a lot of the fast fashion actually is supplied to the European Union and the UK, which is closer to our markets. However, there are companies in Sri Lanka that have really innovated, and they have got into lingerie and sportswear, and that supplies the key or leading brands around the world. However, there are challenges faced by the apparel sector, which is the global economic pressures, supply chain distribution disruptions, what we've had over the last 24 months. Things have, and obviously the rising production costs. We as a country, we have shifted towards sustainable and performance-based based apparel, and we are well positioned. A lot of European brands are coming into Sri Lanka to source and collaborate with the companies. In my case, I represent Textile Lanka. We supply mainly technical apparel and supply the defense, marine, aviation, law enforcement, and healthcare industries. Our expertise lie in fire retardant clothing, CBRN suits, and other performance wear apparel. Again, as a company, we too believe in sustainability and have done so many things to sustain our business and have invested in innovation. So as a country, Sri Lanka has remained to be a reliable apparel manufacturing hub, and there is a lot of room for improvement. And as a country, I think we can really look at the US and start pushing for our exports more to the US. Compared to some of the other Asian economies that manufacture textiles, they have grown rapidly, whereas ours have been more slower and in a more sustainable manner that supports all the global trends and trade. Just want to thank the Global Chamber for giving us an opportunity to present. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Great to learn more. If people, manufacturers and suppliers are interested to learn more and be connected, are you open to taking their call and their email and their information? And would you be willing to share your information here?
For sure, yes. As a company, yes, and as a chamber, we are constantly pushing for collaboration with other economies so that our member companies can grow and obviously support our partners around the world with reliable product and reliable supply chain. Yes.
Besides the United States, which countries to you represent some great potential in the next several years?
Right now, US is the largest market, followed by the European Union and the United Kingdom. But before the United Kingdom left the European Union, the European Union was the largest apparel buyer out of Sri Lanka. So other than the three markets, obviously there is products being supplied to Australasia, which is Australia, New Zealand, and Japan. Then there is a bit of manufacturing done to places like Canada as well. But I would say right now the largest market is the US and the European market.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Please hang on, and there may be some questions later. We're now going to shift over to the rubber and rubber-based products with Mr. Dilshan Rajapaksa. So, Mr. Rajapaksa, thank you for joining. Your company is D. Sampson Industries, and I will say that most of my career has been in the rubber and rubber-based products industry. That's what brought me to Asia, traveling country to country. And so I look forward to hearing more about the update for your industry. Are you there, please?
Yes, hi, I'm Dilshan Rajapaksa. Sorry, I'm struggling with my voice a little bit, so I've got my colleague to cover up some of the stats as well.
Okay, no worries. Are you able to
So thank
give
you.
us a few minutes?
No, I'll give a quick just a snapshot on just the overall industry. As you, I mean, it's a privilege to address this audience today, and just to give a quick snapshot of, as you said, rubber industry and the sector has been coming with a rich heritage. If you look at the Sri Lanka, and we have a very good global reputation when it comes to the quality of the products that the sector has produced. So, and also USA remains as one of the strongest and a significant potential market for Sri Lanka when it comes to the rubber sector. So, looking at the Sri Lanka's role in the sector or the global market, we've got over a century of excellence producing high quality rubber that includes latex, crepe rubber, as well as various technically specified rubber products. So Sri Lanka is well known for solid tires. I think we are one of the best when it comes to quality, and I think we contribute to a larger share, majority share of the world solid tire exports. Looking at the sustainability aspect, we have ethically sourced rubber coming from rubber plantations across Sri Lanka. So we are we've got global certifications such as the FSC, which is the Forest Stewardship Council certification for the ethical manufacturing as well as sustainable manufacturing. So we have FSC certified plantations across Sri Lanka as well. So we've got advanced, sort of well-established plantations and advanced processing facilities as well, which includes a very skilled labor or the workforce in order to meet the requirements or the industrial standards. So looking at the countries, US, I would say, remains as one of the key trading partners. So then I would say EU follows it. So just to explain the stats, I'll quickly hand over to my colleague Chanuka. He's also representing the rubber industry, and when it in our chamber, the National Chamber of Exporters, he's the sectorial head for rubber. So I'll hand over to him, to Chanuka, to explain the statistics. So over to you, Chanuka, are you there?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Dilshan. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, when you look at the rubber and Sri Lanka rubber exports, the United States is a key export destination for Sri Lankan rubber industry. If you take the Sri Lankan rubber exports from January to November 2024, Sri Lanka's rubber exports grew by about 8.25%, reaching approximately $920 million, out of which about 315 million has come from United States. So basically about 1/3 of the rubber exports has come from United States. So we supply a diverse range of rubber products, including solid tires, footwear, industrial and automotive rubber components, medical supplies, eco-friendly rubber goods, and consumer products. Additionally, we provide raw and semi-finished, semi-processed rubber as well. So if you look at the reason for the success of Sri Lankan rubber industry is that it stands out as a reliable supplier due to our ethical and sustainable practices such as FSC and fair trade certifications, and also high quality standards. We comply to ISO, STM, FDA compliances. So also when it comes to R&D, we have a strong R&D investment for innovation and efficiency, and also competitive pricing. Also, we comes under preferential trade agreements as well as GSP eligibility. So I think there's a great potential for stronger US-Sri Lanka collaboration through direct trade as well as joint ventures and expanded market access. So strengthening these ties will benefit both sides, providing high quality, sustainable, and cost-effective rubber products to US businesses. So Sri Lanka's rubber sector is strong, ethical, and globally competitive. We think it is a time to build a new partnerships and unlock opportunities together. Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Chanaka. Appreciate that. Where do you see those opportunities? What innovation or what does the future hold for the industry? Is it more of the same, or are you expecting diversification into new products, new markets? What does the future hold?
So when it comes to the markets, US is the largest market. Followed by European Union, especially Germany in EU, and then followed by UK. So when it comes to the products, so Sri Lankan rubber industry is moving towards more sustainable products. So we are now being recognized as a sustainable provider of like FSC and fair trade certified rubber products. So that's the direction that we are going at the moment.
Can I please add to that, Dow, if you don't mind, just a quick thing?
Yes, please go ahead, Mr.
Yes.
Mark.
Yeah, so to actually, when you look at the rubber industry, we have noticed there are a lot of new value addition that is being taking place. And also from the government side, they have the Rubber Institute where, you know, R&D, they're putting a lot of time on research and development. And we are seeing new molds are being coming in where because the needs are now changing, new needs are being introduced. So the rubber industry is fully ready. There is a lot of funding coming in from various agencies to meet with new demands that is coming on board. So continuous value addition and on innovation, a lot of focus and attention is put by the rubber industries here in Sri Lanka.
Thank you for adding that context. Greatly appreciated. Let's continue to go around the room. We have two more segments to discuss, and then we'll have Q&A. The next is with Mr. Indika Pereira, who's the Managing Director of the Plantation Cluster, and with a particular location, it looks like the Wichi Plantation. Please pronounce that properly. I'm probably not saying it correctly. And you'll be talking about the coconut and coconut-based products in Sri Lanka. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I have a small presentation I will share with you, and that will be easy for everybody to understand the coconut industry.
Thank you.
Hope everyone can see this.
We can.
Yes. Okay. As mentioned, I'm Indiga Pereira, the Cluster Managing Director for Vichy Plantation. I quickly run through the presentation just to get a brief understanding about coconut. And with the timeline is very strict, and I'll only take you through the important parameters. And if you look at coconut tree, it's that is one of the key industry for us. And looking at Sri Lanka is having using each and every part of this coconut with a value addition. You can see the availability, the yields, and everything in Sri Lanka is compared to other countries very good. Yeah. When it comes to Sri Lanka, annually we produce 2.5 to 3 billion nuts annually, and we are the fourth largest global producer in the world. And the coverage is 7% from the total land area. And the important part is in Sri Lanka, we use coconut while we are exporting. Therefore, we are having a very good hand-on experience how to extract the best out of this coconut. And not only the kernel part, we are using other part of this coconut to add value. If you look at everywhere in Sri Lanka, you can see the availability as similar to as mentioned. We are having a very good infrastructure and support from the government. We are having a research and development and coconut industries, authorities to look after the development of this coconut. When it comes to the coconut areas, we are having three main items like the coconut kernel. Basically, annually we do more than 450 to 500 million. Basically, the main items are the desiccated coconut, the market leader, global market leader with 35% share, virgin coconut oil, coconut milk, and other value-added products. If you look at other two products, we basically contribute 20% in Sri Lankan volumes in terms of virgin coconut oil and coconut milk. Not only that, we are using this husk part to add value. That is also again creating more than 150 million. Basically, for these products are going for greenhouses or erosion control and for the fertilizer manufacturing. That is one of the key areas for us in terms of the coconut business. Other value-added product is the shell. Basically, everybody is aware about the activated carbon. Out of this 50 million, I would say the majority is coming from the activated carbon, and the quality is very good in Sri Lanka. Other specific product like the coconut water, coconut flour, and value-added product like the coconut sap, coconut syrup, coconut sugar, and aminos. These are very the dynamic and the growing sector in this coconut kernel business. I think everybody is looking at, okay, what are the markets good for these kind of products? If you look at traditional markets like European countries, especially the Germany, Italy, Netherlands, France, and Belgium, these are very good countries for this kind of a business, including the Middle East contribution 24%, as well as Japan from 12%. And we have categorized this USA market as emerging market because the potential is very high. At the moment, we are having 15% contribution, but 22% annual growth, even in China. Therefore, we have taken that as emerging markets. We are very much keen to look at the emerging markets because there is a good opportunities available in these countries. Therefore, not only the North America, even in South America, when it comes to the fiber product, the South America is very much into the blueberries and other products. The fiber products are moving in these countries. And these are the value addition strategies if you look at, because we don't want to go for a raw material exports. We want to have always the value addition in our business. And as I think a lot of speakers discuss about the certifications, compliance. If you look at in Sri Lanka, whatever the certifications you required, the team is capable of handling and adhering to the requirements. And why Sri Lanka? I think everybody knows why Sri Lanka. You can see this as a hub of the operations, and all these major shipping lines passing through the Sri Lanka. And even in Sri Lankan government, we are giving a lot of benefits for our JVs as well as for the investment. The BOI, even though we are having a TEEP facility, the temporary import and export facility, and the tax concessions for the investments. I don't want to go through each and every line because of the timeline, but if anybody wants, I am willing to share these details. And why you want to invest and what are the expectations from this kind of organization, the joint venture or investment, because we believe this coconut yield can be improved significantly. If you look at the moment, we are in the average of 7,000 to 8,000 nuts per hectare. But definitely with the new technologies, high yield varieties, adoption, we can develop this into 15,000 to 20,000. That will erase out the challenges in the coconut supply. Therefore, the USA or other countries, they can bring new technologies to improve this yield that will enhance the production and the other capacities. And especially the technologies, because the European countries, the USA, they are having high technology. They can use this high technology to improve the processors, new packaging technologies, and they can support us to use these artificial intelligent technologies for coconut. And these are key areas we are looking at with the joint venture or a participation with the others. And when it comes to mainly which is manufacturing the coconut kernel products, and among the top 10 exporters in Sri Lanka with a 40 years experience, and pioneer in coconut milk manufacturing and more value-added products. We mainly focus on the value addition that will give the benefit to the country as well as for the business. These are the main key areas: cooking ingredients, new cuisines, baking products, and beverages in our portfolio. There are many manufacturers who can supply these products. I don't want to go through this, but I want to say one thing. When you are getting a coconut, we are not wasting any part of this coconut as a wastage, and we are adding value to entire all the areas. And these are the certificates. As I mentioned, most of the companies, including Vichy Plantation, we are complying with all the social, food safety, and the product certifications. And the more importantly, we are moving into a latest technology in the world that is called the Tetra Record. And this is basically replacing can with the carton packaging. And especially countries like the USA, they are having a lot of advantages because of the transportation, the shipping time. This product can have more than 24 months, and we will invest this more than $700,000. And the product will be up and running by September. Therefore, at the moment, we are looking at the partners who can work with us to ensure that this product is moving very fast. This will be the first time in the world people who is trying to use this technology for coconut kernel products. I will skip this. This is the value addition for a husk, how we are going to add value for the husk, especially for the greenhouses, the open areas, and you can do a lot of value addition to the husk area. EcoTrend is the backward integration arm of the Vichy Plantation. And we have a lot of plants in Sri Lanka, and we have a state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities, and we can supply kernel products as well as the fiber product through the backward integration. And this is how we targeted to enhance the profitability as well as the growth in our business. And with that, all these good works, I think NCE also appreciated the works, and you can see the Slim Awards, NCE Awards won by these two entities in the my sector. And basically, that is from our side, you can see the kernel products, the fiber products, and the shell products. That is one of the key outcome coming from the coconut industry.
Thank you, Mr. Pereira. Really appreciate that. And thank you for the information. I think we have one more presentation. I'm not sure who it is, but it's a technology-oriented component, the ICT and the business process outsourcing. And I'm wondering, Mr. Rajapaksha or Mr. Marak, are you familiar with who will be speaking next? Do we have a representative to represent the technology, the ICT
Yes.
BPO?
Yeah, Rukmi, can you please update? Who will update on the ICT?
Mr. Dow, it's from your colleague, I think, from ICT BPO sectors, from your colleague in Sri Lanka.
Oh, okay. And
From our side, there's no representative to talk about the ICT BPO sector for this session.
oh,
Or else we can arrange in the upcoming session.
oh, I
with
see.
I think you had suggested a person who you are connected with to do the briefing on the ICT sector.
Ah, okay, okay. Well, sorry about that. I don't think we reached out. So sorry for the miscommunication on that.
Okay.
Would you, Mr. Marakar, would you like to maybe just give a general overview of the ICT BPO industry in Sri Lanka, just in general terms?
Yes, well, the ICT BPO sector was a sector that was identified under the National Export Strategy of Sri Lanka. And a couple of years ago, with the help of World Bank and International Trade Center Geneva, the country did a national export strategy, and ICT was marked as a potential sector which could reach up to 5 billion by 2030. It has been a bit slow. There are a lot of local talent in that area, and our biggest market at the moment is the Scandinavian region, where a lot of services are rendered to that region. I cannot give more specific details on that now because I'm not familiar with that sector. You know, it's a very different kind of a sector altogether. So that's the only information I have right now.
Okay. Yeah, I think when you brought that up, our own familiarity with that for Sri Lanka has largely been through Shams Hadi of Zorosign, who's a long-time member, and he does based in the UAE and does work in the US and around the world as well. But his team is in Sri Lanka, and so he's been talking for many years about the strength of the talent that is in Sri Lanka and the excellent quality cost balance that comes from that segment in Sri Lanka. So we'll focus in another time on that. But thank you for the general overview, and we'll circle back with Shams and others for our next conversation.
Yes, of course, yes.
Does any of the speakers, do you have anything to add from what you've already discussed? Anything either that you left out, anything that you'd like to say in conclusion before we go to questions?
Yeah, though actually, I'm Indra. This is something is about the boat and shipbuilding sector. We had this national export strategy in 2018, and because government have identified ship boat building and shipbuilding sector as an upcoming very important sector. So we have boat manufacturers in Sri Lanka, about 13 boat manufacturers who are in the export industry, and they are manufacturing product quality is excellent quality that is in par with any major boat builders in the whole world. So we as a chamber of marine industries, where we are a member of the ICOMIA worldwide, and so that gives more strength for our members to interact with the other 35 odd countries who are members in that. And as a chamber, we are supporting the boat building industry, and also which give more emphasis on nautical tourism in Sri Lanka with the boat building. So this is something that I thought I will present to you, make a special remark on the boat building and the shipbuilding industry, related industry in maritime.
Thank you for doing that. It's never been as important as now to be connected around the world. And I think a lot of what you know, all of you know, is that being connected to one market is risky. And because of economic changes and we're learning today because of other issues that make relying on one market can be very difficult. And so I'm very happy to hear that all of our speakers have talked about multiple markets. I'm very happy that all of you have attended today to learn more about Sri Lanka and also consider connecting in to this market. That's what Global Chamber stands for, is finding ways to connect to new opportunities. And there are many existing long-term relationships here, but there's also new opportunities, as we've heard today. Before we have a final comment from the National Chamber of Exporters, we probably have time for one question. Does anybody have any questions? And anyone from the audience? I've been monitoring the chat area. And thank you for all of your comments regarding sharing information, regarding things that you're involved with and in support of the speakers.
Actually, it is not a question as the chamber. I want to thank you and your organization for giving this opportunity to us, because chamber and as the National Chamber of Exporters, we do many programs to promote exports in Sri Lanka, even going to the extent of having uh, training programs for upcoming exporters, right? Even going to the regions, right? So we are very well established in helping the aspiring exporters. And once every year we have award ceremony, and that is I would say the biggest award ceremony you have in Sri Lanka for the exporters. And I would say it is the award ceremony for exporters, and where we recognize the best exporters in way of large, small, and micro exporters. So that is one, and the other thing is the important feature of our chamber is that we give this ethical trading practices initiative certificate, recognizing companies who are doing things ethically, and recognizing them which add value to their products when they are marketing. So likewise, I mean, I just mentioned a few. There are so many programs that we are doing, and we like to exchange our views and ideas with your chamber. And we are very much in favor of embracing whatever that is good that we can adapt to Sri Lanka and vice versa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kaushal. So impressed today by the speakers, your professionalism, the information you shared, the focus in on ethical trade and sustainable trade and sustainable actions is very noteworthy. I think really very impressed by all of the speakers and all of the information shared today. I think this is a great way to kick off the relationship between our chambers of commerce by providing information and connections for companies to be not just advised about what's going on, but to actually get involved. And so thank you all of the attendees, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching this on a recording. Please contact us at info@globalchamber.org. If you're interested in connecting up with any of the speakers and you're not able to do that through whatever reason, please contact us and we'll be happy to make the connection so that you can build your business and be more successful. Thank you to all the speakers. Thank you to Jem on the Global Chamber side for organizing and putting this all together. Thank you to all the members of both Chambers of Commerce for attending today. Thank you for those of you who are maybe not members but are considering to be a member. It's never been more important to support your chambers of commerce that are doing trade, because we need more trade. We need more conversations, more negotiations, more mediations, more conversations, and more business to sustain. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Jem.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Hi, Boan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Yes.